Science fiction isn't just about the scientists, soldiers, and folks with superpowers. It's also about the everyday heroes, the working class, the people fighting to make a difference in their world. One of the best things about science fiction is how it's used to comment on social and political issues in our own lives.
We're on strike!
Including the fight for equal rights and representation at work. Here are our top 5 working class heroes in sci-fi. We can't talk about working class heroes without talking about Metropolis, Fritz Lang's silent German film from the late 1920s, and its protagonist, Maria. The film is set in a dystopian future that relies on class hierarchies. The ruling elite, like Joe Fredersen and his son Freder, and those who toil away in the underbelly of the city, like Maria. Maria is the key defender of workers' rights and conditions throughout the film. In fact, she inspires Freder to turn against the upper classes, including his own father, to try to make things better for the workers. In a cruel twist, Fredersen commissions a robot with the body of Maria to ruin her reputation among the workers and keep them from a rebellion. Despite all this, our hardworking heroine's prophecy comes true when Freder ends up uniting everyone.
Good morning, Sam.
A recent sci-fi favorite is Duncan Jones's Moon, and it's also a great example of how sci-fi can play with the notion of a human worker and their relationship to automation.
God damn it! I said I got it!
Sam Rockwell plays Sam Bell, the lone human crew member on an otherwise automated ship on a lunar mining mission. After an accident, Sam encounters a clone of himself, sparking an unfolding mystery that ultimately reveals that they are both replicas of the original Sam, and part of a large line of clones that are killed off once each mission is complete.
Jesus Christ, there's so many of them.
Sam encapsulates the very real fear that our unique skills will become obsolete and replaced by more nimble machines in the not-so-distant future. Star Wars has a complicated relationship with droids, who are treated both as sentient beings and as slave labor.
You need anything?
Equal rights?
We see this with Elle, the self-made piloting droid who has a neat ability to improve herself with scraps of other droids. She was all about droid rights.
Restraining bolts. Barbaric.
That is, that droids like herself should have the same rights as sentient beings. She wanted to crush the system that oppressed mechanical intelligence in the galaxy.
Don't just blindly follow the program. Exercise some free will.
And imagined a world where droids could be free to decide their own fate. She may not have succeeded in overturning the Hugh matriarchy, but she did manage to start a robot revolution that helped Han and his friends escape the planet Kessel, even if it cost her her own life. Naomi Nagata is a belter, a working-class group of miners who hail from the asteroid belt in the Expanse. Some of her origin story is still a mystery, but we know that her history as part of the oppressed class has helped shape the strength of her character today, and helped her rise to become a self-taught engineer who consistently sides with people who are being oppressed in society. The upcoming Season 4 is an adaptation of James S.A. Corey's book, Cibola Burn, which means we should be seeing a lot more issues involving labor rights. Bret Zuko is a young office worker who has to deal with too much workload, a misogynistic boss, and passive-aggressive co-workers, among other work woes that we are all too familiar with. But despite her burning rage, she remains pleasant and cordial at work. Outside the office is a different story. Who amongst us hasn't channeled our frustration with song? Bret Zuko uses heavy metal karaoke to belt and rage about the evils of working within a capitalist system. So, while this badass heroine doesn't take true direct action against the oppression she feels at work, her character gives us a very relatable look at the emotional tax of working in a demoralizing environment. So whether you're a belter, an office drone, or leading the revolution, there's nothing like power to the people, or robots.